everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is Sunday afternoon, and I am your host, Foxen, inside of your boxen. How you doing, guys? Hope you're all having a relaxing, lazy Sunday. We're doing pretty good over here in the Fox Den. How's it going? String and I went shopping today and got him a bunch of new clothes for his new job. And he looks good. You're too relaxed. You need some horror. I can help you with that. Looks like we have a new follower today. Left to Draw followed 4 hours ago. Thanks for that follow, Left to Draw. If you're watching the VOD, here's your shout out. Anyhow, yeah, so not a whole lot going on today. You'll notice if you're watching on desktop, down below there's a new panel called Events that shows a lot of our upcoming streams or events or whatever and what games we're playing. I know that there's also in there, I believe, I'm going to be on the Girl Streamers podcast on April 8th. That'll be streamed live on Twitch over on their channel, and I'll be hosting it here when that happens. And April 21st, I will be in a Girl Streamers D&D game. I'm not sure yet what I'll roll for that one. But it'll be good. It'll be good. Anyhow, let's hop to the game. I think we're probably gonna finish it today. We got through 2 episodes on Thursday, and there's multiple seasons, but this season is only 4 episodes. So all right. Oh, is Chris streaming today? I thought he streamed already earlier today. Well, then I guess we know who we're gonna raid when we're done here. I'll be honest, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to his schedule. No, I want to go to his thing. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, he streamed on the 13th. That was like 5 days ago. Dude, how did I miss that? Anyhow. So, yeah, I guess we know who is the rock and who is the hard place. Yeah, man. No, it kind of sucks when people are streaming at the same time. I have a lot of people I want to watch that I can't because I'm streaming at the same time as them. What is it that we witnessed? You must tell me. You must make me understand what my mind cannot fathom. It was our curiosity that damned us. We opened that which should not be opened. In doing so, we shorn the veil that separated our world from his. In seeking vision, we were ourselves seen by the eye of the bird. It remembers us. It looks for us. It calls us from its dark nest, from its abominable lair. All these years I have attempted to return to it, but I have no strength left. These poor wretched creatures are too fragile. They lack the sight to return. Not one of them has. Only us, the 4 witnesses. Where are the other 2? Where are they? They disappeared as you did. I haven't heard from many of you. But I was seized by curiosity. It absconded with my faith and deprived me of sanity. O Lord, forgive me, for I have sinned. Oh yeah, and then he sets himself on fire. Yeah, man, I totally feel that. Don't worry about it. And if anybody shows up, we'll probably end up raiding Affinity Chris at the end of this stream. Oh yeah, we were being buried alive. I forgot, like, all of this. After the death of his old friend Anthony, Devitt decides to travel back to the school they both attended in the outskirts of Aberdeen. In his search, Devitt meets his old teacher, Father Ernest. He also remembers the experiment they all attempted many years back, which had terrible consequences. The truth is revealed. Father Ernest worships the eye of the bird, a vision resulting from the experiment. He killed many people trying to replicate its results. Those who saw the eye back then he calls the Four Witnesses. When discovered, Ernest immolates himself. Finally, Ernest's servant knocks Devitt out and buries him alive. All is darkness. All is cold. All is silence. What? I thought it was underground. I'm totally down to watch the credits again because they're awesome. How's the audio levels? Oh yeah, for sure. Jeremiah, we must talk. With your mother deceased, arrangements have to be made regarding your upbringing. A man in my position and responsibility can't take the time to look after a young boy. First thing in the morning, you will depart for Scotland. Oh, it's an old man talking. I'm sending you to study at the St. Gall boarding school in Aberdeen. You need not bother to write, as I will not have time to read your letters. Where are we going, my dude? Still no letters for you, Devitt. Please do not persist any further. Pleased to meet you, my new classmates. And who is that? Oh, that's just Devitt. Pay him no mind, he's a little odd. Interesting. Hello, I'm Anthony. Anthony Beechworth. This is my first term here. I've only just arrived. I hope we can be friends. By friends, I mean boyfriends. It's a lot of frickin' blood. What is happening? A ticket. The 4 witnesses. I wonder how this got in my pocket. A ticket to see a play called The 4 Witnesses. A shiver runs down my spine when I look at what could have been my eternal deathbed. My head is pounding. I feel so weak and thirsty. If I don't drink water soon, I will faint. Dear Lord, where am I? I'm in a city. Is it Aberdeen? How could I have escaped? I can't see anything beyond this wall but the dark facades of buildings on the far side. Cheapest potatoes in town. Please, sir, could you give me some water? This ain't a charity, Toff. I only sell to paying customers, so cough up or get out. Young man, could you please tell me where I am? Alright. You're in, like, the town of Dickholes. There's a cart blocking the alley. I won't be able to pass until it has been moved. An indigent, ragged clothing sits leaning against the brickwork. The young man sleeps under a filthy blanket. Stained and threadbare sheets struggle to dry in the muggy air. The young woman suffers difficulty breathing. Horse meat for sale. Please, I need water. Get out of here, drunk. I'm super not drunk. Oh, it's the lady of the night. There's a man staring at me from amidst the crowd. Something in his countenance seems strange to me. What? Please, ma'am, could you tell me where I am? You don't know where you are? Why, this is the old Nickel Street Rookery. A dark and more decrepit place like there never was. But that's in London. How could I have arrived in this slum? From the pipe flows grimy water full of soot. The stench from the sewer drain is nauseating. Okay, can't go any further that way, it looks like. have no idea what this is. Okay. Watercress. Interesting. The day will come when I am consigned to such a hole. And not today or any such day as I am fit and able to prevent it. So I can't go back in there. Nope. Okay. It's fresh. That's nice. This lady was weirdly helpful. But she won't be helpful about that. Oh, I can drink some of the water. I forgot that sometimes the spyglass changes to a hand. The water's foul odor is repulsive, but I am overcome with thirst. I don't intend to drink it again. It had an awful taste. Alright, so I've got some water. That sucks. I must have fainted. It is dangerous to be an old nickel at night. I should make my way out as quickly as possible. Alright. Dr. Wakefield is here to see you, Mynheer. Show him in, Hertz. It is about your patient, is it not? There's no trace of him. He hasn't shown up for his last few sessions. I've been to his house, of course. His landlady assured me he went on a trip weeks ago and hasn't come back home. He kept the destination to himself. Then it is happening as I feared. What do you mean? I'm sorry, my dear friend. I first thought of this when you described your sessions with Herr Devitt, but I didn't want to upset you without need, as I hoped for the best. Now I am afraid my suspicions could be true. There are some things that I will have to verify first, though. I promise that I will contact you as soon as I have learned anything important. Please, Herr Doctor, it is of the utmost importance. No one else knows of this matter. You have my total discretion. Okay, there's some shit going down. I feel like I have been walking these streets for hours. Surely I must be close to finding my way out of this labyrinth. Do you hear them? It's the crows searching for the bones of the weak and dying. They're calling to each other. They must have found something. These streets are so confusing to navigate. I'm afraid I have lost my way. Could you direct me out? Yes, lost one, I can give you direction. I have been gifted with the second sight. I can peer deep into your past and unwind the tapestry of your fate. Would you like me to close my eyes so that yours may be opened? haven't a penny to pay you. Money is of no matter here. Come close to me now. The scream. It begs you to escape. Mute, it shrieks your lost name. Sharp, painful, and burning. Its voice is one you know. The dying star. You lost your guide. You follow the stream, but you don't know where it goes. You think you have escaped, but actually you are getting closer and closer. The Walker. You have embarked upon a great journey. This path has been walked by you before. You step in your own footprints inside a circle of fire. I don't understand. What does it all mean? I can't unpick these ones. The threads you have woven in destiny are too tight, child. But you will. Oh yes, you will. It is not for me to save, but for you to discover. Remember that in the fog we only see what is closest to us. The bird remains in the distance. If you wish to leave, you must follow the path of the bird. No more direction can I give. Pardon me, I must go. You will need a map to guide your steps. Farewell. Alright. Brad. Hey! Hey, Dickweed. Hey! It's very dark. I don't dare to go on. Alright. The glass is fogged over before a handprint left on the surface. The gate is latched shut. I can't open it from the side. You may keep my miserable kingdom, you may keep my spike-encrusted jewels. Stay there as you will, and stare into my eyes. I am a shadow's shadow and will not disappoint. The sewer is flooded here with an ankle-deep pool of water. Patches of oil swirl on its surface. The letters seem to be inscribed with an oily grime. It reads, rats. I'm not sure if that's a warning or an exclamation. It's just rubbish. Rotten scraps of food and discarded papers. The street lamp tries to put some light into the gloom. The boarded-up window of a run-down house. Dust smears the glass, preventing me from seeing the interior. Oh dear. Cuts of rancid meat lie discarded on the butcher's block. A metal plate is planted in the wall. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was a bolt hole. Okay. The remains of a horse hang by a hook affixed to the wall. Its blood drains, seeping into the floorboards. Whoa. Rusted out drums, empty. A bottle of gin. It's empty, but it may be of some use. This machine is old and in disrepair. It appears to be some sort of filtering machine. Despite its condition, it seems to have been used just recently. Okay. The glass is essentia. Liquids are poured into the top and then impurities removed through a valve at the bottom. Okay. Okay, now we'll try this way. Okay, so we haven't tried this way. I got lost in the fog. If I am to make my way through, I will need to orient myself somehow. Alright. Weird. Alright, so I've got a bottle. I collected some of the oily water in my gin bottle. Alright, now what do I do with it? Not that. Though the embers look as though they'll soon extinguish, its meager warmth is welcome. I am following a man. He must have passed this way. And how is that man? Tall, well-dressed, red-haired, and a cold look in his eye. The nightmare of which we don't talk about. All of us, asleep or awake, have seen that man at some point. Alright. We'll need a map to guide your steps. Farewell. It's the only light coming into this filthy room. Okay. I wonder if I'm supposed to use like the oily water and the drink it, wake up in the morning when it's safer. I wonder if I'm supposed to use the oily water on the back of the ticket as like a map to get through the fog. And right back where I was. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, I'm thinking I'm supposed to burn it. A rusty old oil lamp sits empty in the corner. No, it doesn't belong to anybody. You're welcome to take it if you like. Not sure what good it'll do you without any oil, though. Ah, yes, there we go. Water contains oil that can be used in the lamp. Oh, and I need to filter it at that butcher place. Okay. Pour the contents of the bottle into the essentia. The oil floats on the surface. When I open the valve, it will drain the water until all the water has been removed. That's it. I extracted all of the water. I fill the lamp with oil. I hope it will be enough to last the night. Okay. Looks like we're good. Okay, so maybe now I can use... Alright, so I need to light the lamp somehow. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Beside the oracle. There we go. An old worn-out coat hangs on the rack. In one of its pockets is a pair of gloves. Take the gloves. An old bottle of Saint Emilion Grand Cru is covered in dust. Mold covers the wood stacked in the shed. Judging by the resin oozing on the surface of this tree trunk, it appears to have been recently chopped down. The door is locked. I can't even move it. Alright. I think I see something on the other side of that window, but from here I can't distinguish what it is. I really enjoy any kind of point and click. As long as they're not, like, fucking brutal, like the Deponia games. A bright meadow. The picture has faded to a dull color. Oh, God, no. Now my eyes focus on the gloom. I can see that the person sitting on the bed is an elderly woman. She's just dressed up as a young girl for some reason. She appears not to hear or see me from there. I'll need to get closer if I am to explain myself. My reflection stares back at me through the grime. An old wardrobe. There's something amongst the embers. I can't put my hand in or I will burn myself. No, I don't want to dance and sing anymore. It's enough for today. I want my lemonade. I want to play. Actually, madam, I'm afraid I've never met you before. I don't know who you are. Ah, don't you recognize me? No, madam, I'm afraid I do not. I'm very sorry. Oh, no, not at all. It's fine. It's been a while since I last performed, I suppose. But don't you forget it. I'm the great little Catty. Singer, dancer, and golden girl of London's music halls. I'm looking for a gentleman. He's well dressed with red hair. Do you know him? He led me to this place. No, father. I've been practicing the latest repertoire as you ordered. I've behaved very well today, haven't I? Oh, she's nuts. I want to get out of this place. Hide and seek. Oh, I do love games. I go to the fog when I want to get away. Daddy won't find me there, you see. In the fog, there are no faces. Let's play. Please no. Now stand next to the fireplace and count to 3. 1, 2, 3. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? One, 2, 3. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 1, 2, 3. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? One, 2, 3. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Okay. What the blazes just happened? My head is pounding. Where did she go? I'm exhausted. Father made me rehearse today for 8 hours. By the end the music wavered with his trembling hands. It's still a long day for the day of the show, but he insisted that everything must be perfect. One more song, he said over and over. Father got really mad at me and he started to shout when after many hours of rehearsal I said I wanted to get out and play a little bit in the street. More and more he's obsessed with rehearsing, with concerts, with perfection. Am I not the one who earns the money to feed us? Am I not the one people come from all over to see and admire? Is my name not the one printed on all the posters? My name. The doors for sale at the theatre entrance. They have my likeness, my dress, and my beautiful hair. I should be the one who makes the decisions. One more song. Yes, one more. A last song for you, Papa. Alright, well, you're heckin' crazy. Pile of things on the floor after Catty's disappearance. There is a mask. Okay, it's a porcelain mask. It broke when it fell. The distorted features. There's a grotesqueness to them. I don't like to look at it. And look underneath the mask. A photograph. It has a note. Little Catty show. There's a girl lit up by spotlight in a music hall singing to live piano. The wardrobe is locked. Portrait of a beautiful young dancer. Alright. Maybe don't play with this girl anymore. The sitter is a strikingly beautiful young woman. Her features are sharp and aristocratic. I'm not crazy about this laughing that I'm hearing. Portrait of a middle-aged man. He seems troubled. A doorknob is missing. That's fine with me. Hi. No, no, no! Did I not pray enough? Have I not written faithfully every last note you screwed into me? Middle C up to A, measure. G up to C, tied. F, second violin, bar 2. Middle C up to A, double note E, G, C. No! This was supposed to be our masterpiece. Viola C, up an octave, and then up to G. What? Who do you think you are? Are you blind, man? Can't you see that I am creating the angel's voice? The work! C to A, an octave higher. Fragile voice flutters around the strophe. No, 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 no. Hands swallow you, laugh at you. I lost it again. Are you all right, sir? My inspiration, too, is quite lost. In the fog the notes moan. Just her. Who was she? Oh, beautiful Daphne. The best soloist that a composer could have. Voice of an angel, what made my music possible. She would stand there by the window. The wind caressed her cheeks. It danced in her golden hair. Her dress glowed like an ember in the dusk sun. What happened to her? She was very delicate, like a flower in the desert, like a petal in the storm. Her sickness just swept her away. Her voice, my God, her voice. It came from heaven. She was the angel of my music. A mausoleum. In a mausoleum outside the house. Is that where Daphne is buried? That's right. I have visited her many nights. I've even slept beside her on the cold, wet stone floor. Well, I'm following a man, though come to think of it, maybe he is following me. He has a red beard and wears a cape. I sometimes find this man, too, among my notes. I feel him close to me at times. Please, I need to get out of this place. You asked me for words, but words are betrayers. They're dirty. Music, just music, remains beautiful. But it's a prisoner inside all of us. We must set it free. I can't help you now. Not until my work is finished. My work is the important thing. She was my only inspiration. Alright, well, bye. Let music and singing surround you, my man. Paper bound up in a roll. Seems to be a discarded musical score. The wallpaper is torn. A tailor's mannequin. Why is it beside the window? A painting of a beautiful young lady with a peaceful expression. She looks like one of Raphael's angels. Does he have more to say? Alright. This cage must have housed a huge bird. Only a feather remains. Can't reach a feather from here. Looks like the lyrics to a song entitled The Last Song for You. The verses are scrawled so poorly as to make them illegible. The piano is so dusty, I dare say it hasn't been played in years. I wonder if it still works. Something is preventing one of the keys from depressing. There is a key hidden under the key. The cage has no keyhole. Weird. Keyhole is too big for such a small key. Oh, where else did we see that needed a key? Was there another spot that needed a key? Oh, wait, no. Was it... Yeah, so the Laughing Man is behind this door. And we got into this room already. Oh, the wardrobe! I super don't want to go in this room again. There's an elegant scarlet party dress inside. There's nothing else. Okay, we put that on the mannequin. Escape to Narnia. God, I wish. Sort of. Let's go. Taylor's mannequin. A mask? I have to repair it first. Oh wait, there was something there I could take? Oh, don't do this to me, game. Alright, it crashed. We have to restart it again. That's okay. Okay. Try this again. Last time it crashed, it didn't, like, kick me back too terribly far. Okay, so we have that. I have to repair the mask. Oh, put on the gloves and reach into the fire, maybe? Because I think he said it looked like there was something in the fire. It's a spherical piece of metal. A doorknob. Oh, great. Because I super wanted to go visit this guy. Laughter coming from behind the curtains. You faintly see the outline of a figure on the other side. It's a porcelain door with lifelike proportions. The face has been removed, leaving her featureless, but its wig shines brightly, as though of human hair. Record is scratched. It's repeating on loop. Alright. The hair removed, the door is even more unsettling. Big wall mirror. It's so covered in dust I can't recognize my face through. Wooden planks are blocking the window. I can only see part of the outdoors. I hate dolls. Yes, just right. Looks more and more like the young woman in the painting. So if it's not dolls, it's creepy children. Yeah, basically. So I have to fix the mask. If I blow through the paper roll, maybe I could manage to make the feather fly. I got it. It's a big black feather with some grey spots on the base. I got the feather. I'm super not into this. I do need to, like, orient myself with... Just how do I get the mask to stick together? That's true. Did the bed of the violinist? Oh. I don't see anything. Yeah, definitely. Wait, there's mold on the logs. Maybe I can use that to stick the mask together? Sap! Oh my gosh, there's sap. Managed to coat the feather with resin. Alright, so we fixed that. Daphne, you're back. Are you a figment of my melancholic mind? Are you the ghost of my dying music? No, it doesn't matter, because you are with me again, and now I know exactly how to compose my masterpiece. Please take my violin. Now that I have completed my work, I no longer have a use for it. It needs to be with her. Go to the mausoleum and place the violin where her heart lies. The angel of my music will guide you. Here, take the key to the mausoleum, my friend. Okay. Look for Simurgh. What? What is a Simurgh? It's what the crows are searching for. It's what you search for, too. Okay. I super don't want to go in the mausoleum, personally. Here lies an angel. Great pity must be felt for those who do not hear her. Pity for those not blessed by her naive grace, not shaken by her heavenly voice, trembling their souls into divine ascendance. Here lies Daphne. God rest her soul. The sarcophagus is broken. Where on earth is the coffin? Who could have done this? Oh, God. I was asked to leave the violin close to Daphne's heart. She isn't here anymore. The trail of soil leads from the sarcophagus to this hole. There's a coffin transported through here. This seems like a great idea. Can't see anything with these dirty window panes. It's locked. What was that? Maybe I can see something if I look into the keyhole. Darkness there, nothing more. What was that? Up at the river, the naiad Daphne hid from sun in the shadowy mists. She's changed her skin for strong bark, so her heart was forever concealed, her dance frozen in the rustle of 1,000 leaves. A lot of dusty books. Anatomy, history, science. Like, what's weird is that he didn't even... Books with unpronounceable names in dead languages. It's weird that he didn't even, like, react to it. Myths and legends this time. Norse tales, Greek, ancient Sumerian, others that I don't recognize. Some of these scripts I've never seen. I beg your pardon, sir, if I have startled you. What are you doing here, sitting in the dark? Why am I reading these marvelous books? In the dark? How can you see the words without any light? That is the only way to see them, really. That is, if you want to see the words on the other side of the page, the words in the shadows. Shadow always hides from the light, you know, so they can only be read in darkness. Are you the owner of this bookshop? Oh goodness, no. Bookshop doesn't belong to anyone, not since I found it here. I am just a guest, an explorer of these ancient tomes. Have you seen a man pass this way? He is red-haired, tall, and wears a cape. Oh yes, I know of whom you speak. I see him here from time to time, perusing the books. He would pick one off the shelf, glance at it, and then put it back. He and I never spoke, though. Why do you ask? Can you tell me which books this man perused? Let me think. Ah, yes. I recall him looking at unexplored places in the Empire. An excellent tome, very revealing and very rare. This bookshop is very fortunate to have a copy in its collection. I'm not sure where it is now, but I'm sure it can't be far. Pardon the interruption. I'll leave you two overeating. A painting of an old factory. I guess someone was really attached to the place. A large collection of books. I hear a woman's voice in the distance. It sounds as if she's singing a lullaby. The book lies on the floor. Its spine reads Unexplored Places of the Empire. The page has been marked. Also known as Zyla, it's a unique bay in the east of Balashwar, near the jungles of Bengala. It is surrounded by tall, snow-capped mountains. Usually covered in mist, the waters of the bay are very dangerous and rarely visited. It's a massive dead tree. What could have formed here inside this building and without sunlight? On the ground lies a book entitled The Songs of Zyla. The page to which it was open has been torn out. The remaining fragment identifies the song title, The Search for Simurgh. I see something caught in the branches. It appears to be a page torn from the book below. The remains of a coffin. Looks like it was burst from the inside. This seems like a great idea. Cracked wall. Long green vine has grown through it. A pile of ragged clothes, caked with mud and full of holes. Do I just have no fear? Is that my deal? The dead roots of a once great tree fill the cavernous sewer. A strange green moss covers its surface. There's a great crack along its length. The violin has disappeared among the roots as they're swallowed up. The trunk seems to be expanding. That noise came from above. There's a note partly obscured by mud. I mustn't fall asleep. I hear them crawling. I hear them gnawing. Rats. Too many of them. They know I'm here. I mustn't fall asleep. They stalk me, coming closer and closer. I can see their blood-red eyes glimmering in the darkness. I mustn't fall asleep. Right, well. The tree has grown. So the branches have crashed through the window and into the street. So your dead girlfriend turned into a tree. Just thought I'd let you know. That wasn't that freaky. Paper sheet captioned "The branches" is now within my reach. On the page is a strange poem. First into the wind they sought for the king, but lost were the birds. They wept in suffering and fled to the sea, compelled by a need. They found their silence. Their quest is complete. Hey, buddy! Where you going? Cool. Okay. Okay, so if you go to the sound where the birds are, the place where the bird sounds are. Right? Because it says, first into the wind they sought for the king. And then, like, birds. Oh. Okay. Maybe go tell the guy his girlfriend turned into a tree. In the fog we have eyes, but we count on our ears. To find your way, you must search for the Simurgh. Okay. So it is going to be an audio thing. Yeah, I'll try that. Alright. Okay, so it's not going to let me go that way. Damn it! Okay. I thought the ocean sound was what we needed. This is clearly... It's clearly a puzzle. Okay. The birds wept. So... Damn it. Okay. So, alright, so in the orders. First, into the wind. Okay, so the wind sound is the one I want first. So this is not it. But this is. Okay. And now we're looking for the bird sounds. That's creepy as fuck. And now we look for the sound of the ocean. And then silence. Your ticket, please. Thank you. Please come in. Hello, Jeremiah. I knew you would find us eventually. Welcome to our humble performance. You were there. You were part of the group. You don't remember my name, do you? I am Alexander. What is all this about? What do you want from me? From you? Nothing, dear Jeremiah. It is you who came here searching for answers. It's the same as when you joined our group. We each came with our own reasons. Do you remember yours? He was about philosophy. True philosophy. Indeed. It's our thirst for knowledge that drew us together. No one waits for us to get out there, dear Jeremiah. There is no one who will care for us when our hour comes. We have been alone. Until now. How did I end up in London after being buried in the boarding school? The bird protects us. It is by his design that we should meet again. But we are not the only ones who take shelter beneath his wings. His influence and power is ever expanding, ever reaching. Do you not feel him beckoning? I only want to wake from this nightmare. There is no nightmare. It is a show, but a performance. The truth we seek lies beyond the curtain. Now we have crossed the point of no return. The lights are on, the stage is set, and soon you shall meet the actors. Welcome. This belongs to you. Fucking fine. Dear Dr. Wakefield, if you are reading this and you have followed my instructions to arrive at the agreed upon address, good. I apologize that I could not accompany you immediately. My own investigations have demanded a certain unanticipated degree of attention. I have determined that your patient, Devitt, is in serious trouble. I will contact you with more information post-haste. In the meantime, discretion is of the utmost importance. Your friend, Johann Kaufman. Close the game. Okay, so, I'm gonna take a short break, because we've been live for about an hour and a half. Seems like a good place to, get a little stretch in, that sort of thing. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Go ahead, run to the bathroom, get yourself something to drink, something to snack on, and, hang tight.
till the sunrise, waiting for moments to come and pass by. I'll take a moment soon to realize no one could ever see you with clear eyes. No one could ever see you with clear eyes. No Mm-hmm.
Alright, kiddos, we're back. Fucking love Nanobe. That's some good shit. That's some good shit. Alright. Let's do it. After escaping from his burial, Devitt finds himself in a cellar of London's darkest slum, the Old Nickel Rookery. In his pocket, he has a ticket for a show called The Four Witnesses. Devitt walks through the misty streets, following a strange man who seems to guide him. He learns the legend of the Simurgh, the king of birds. Following its trail through a dreamlike land of fog, Devitt finally meets Alexander, a member of the secret group Devitt and his friends had at school. Alexander welcomes Devitt and speaks of an entity called the Bird that has been calling them ever since the experiment they conducted back then. There is no turning back. I have made my mind. I'm ready. Go on. Do it. Do it! Do it! Can you see all these stars twinkling in the black outer abyss? All the constellations traced by human eyes in long-distant eras? Look now to the forest in the valley, to the old tower. So your friend hung himself at the beginning of the game, so he didn't have to wear a yellow dress and creepy mask. Makes sense now. And you have to take his role of the play since they're down an actor. Basically. From the last tree in the distance to the stars in the sky, and even the stones beneath our feet, are just silhouettes that hide the truth from our poor senses. Ancient shadows that hang over the veil that hides the world. As if it were the curtain of a theater, the veil separates the truth from the lie. The veil is a place, Devitt. A place of mists. Anthony's great abilities brought you here, but his influence will soon fade away. The mask of lies will descend over your eyes once again. You must find the door, as I did. The door that gives passage through the veil. Open it, and we will walk together beyond the mist. I suppose you are wondering why I called you so urgently. I cannot deny it. Your letter was truly mysterious. I have been traveling, Doctor, to Scotland. Have you heard about the massacre of St. Gall? Why, yes. The tragic event has been the continued object of speculation and grim rumour in every newspaper in England. For weeks now, pamphlets have claimed that all kinds of macabre things took place. But I don't understand. How is all this connected with my patient? He was there. I'm afraid he is one of the victims. Dear God! What was Devitt doing there? Many years ago, the St. Gall Hospital was a boarding school. It appears that both your patient and Mr. Beechworth spent a part of their youth together there. We could assume that Herr Devitt was investigating something. He believed he had found a clue related to his friend's death. Are you telling me my patient has been murdered? Murdered? Thankfully, no. Please excuse me for alarming you, but I did not mean to give this impression. Herr Devitt was attacked, but survived. What happened to him, then? It seems the criminal was caught by Herr Devitt in the midst of the act. Then he tried to do the same thing to Devitt that he had done to the others. Fortunately, the nuns arrived in time to unearth him from the coffin. Herr Devitt was hospitalized. The nurses report that he remained unconscious for an entire day. What was the cause of those awful deaths? No one knows for sure. The victims were inflicted with terrible wounds. All of them had an expression of utmost terror on their faces. I suspect you did not find Mr. Devitt in the hospital. Indeed, he was already gone by the time I arrived. I have not been able to determine his whereabouts since. I see. What conclusions do you draw from all of these circumstances? I have some theories, but I prefer not to reveal them until the events have unfolded. In all of them, there is a fundamental element whose role has not yet been revealed. And what leads you to this conclusion? It is something that the Holy Sisters found beside Herr Devitt within the coffin. An empty hypodermic needle with traces of an unknown substance. So are we just high as fuck? I'm sure this is the place. Alexandra's house must be just ahead. There's a large iron bar latching the door. It's quite odd that the door's latched from the outside. Yeah, I'm not doing this. It's latched. I can't open it from the side. No one is answering. Perhaps I should go inside anyway. I'll just tell the household that I'm an old friend come to visit. Looks like you need a new lamp with oily water. No kidding. House lights are on. Someone must be home. A strange woman stares down at me, glaring with a silent reproach at my intrusion. Footsteps. There must be someone upstairs. It could be Pevensey Castle, but in this painting the garrison is not in ruins. A couple of old teacups at my table. One of them is full and still warm. An oil lamp. I will need this, thank you. Just some old bottles. An ancient stone well. A rope hangs inside, disappearing into the darkness below. Looks like someone was buried here. I can't dig with my bare hands. Now I have a lamp. This pane looks as if it's broken from the inside. Statue of an angel with its wings spread. Its head is missing. A statue of an angel covered in mold. It's glancing at me with a sad gesture. Okay. Weird. Yeah, that's a... It's very good at creating suspense. Well-crafted grandfather clock. But it seems to be out of order. One of the hands is missing. The silhouette of a man. Bears a strong resemblance to Alexander. The silhouette of a woman. Alexander. Alexander, it's me, Devitt. I'm sorry if I startled you. Is everything all right? Why are you sitting in a wheelchair? Are you hurt, maybe? Can you stand? He is staring blankly at some distant point, as if he has not heard my question at all. You told me I should come here. I came as soon as I could. Could you tell me what is happening here? He gives no answer, but he persistently stares at something nearby. He appears to be in some kind of hypnotic trance. When I was downstairs, I could have sworn I'd heard footsteps. Were they yours, or is there someone else in this house? For a moment, I felt a flash of hope that he was looking at me, but he is unresponsive. Alexander, please, say something. I don't know what to do. I don't understand. Just what happened to him. The cuckoo clock is covered with dust. Seems to be missing an important piece, the bird. Misty dock overlooks a grey ocean. Gull's wheel overhead. There is a scribbled annotation in this piece of paper. The veil is something we sense in our innermost being incessantly. In vain do we waste our lives, craving to tear through. And Azalethal, the curtain behind which the great wings beat, inside its ancient mist inhibit the shadows of those who left. The table holds nothing but a box with the description laudanum, to be taken in case of anxiety. It is empty. Okay, that explains a lot. It's a shame I can't take that. Fine painting the local Roman structures. They somehow seem more ancient in this depiction. Portrait of an old man, maybe a ship captain. Looks like he's trying to guard this chest with a stern glare. A huge chest made of oak wood. There's a large iron hook inside. I'll take this hook. There's a fragment of a diary under there. I can't work in the basement anymore. Those wretched sculptures. I feel them stalking me in the darkness. I know it is not possible, but I can hear the crunches, the flapping wings, stone grinding on stone, the frozen paroxysms with what diabolical art were those gestures conceived. An internal movement, a tension. An impossible structure to give back the life they never had. I might place them outdoors in the greenhouse and let the mold devour them and make wasps make nests of their hollow hearts. So, String, is it possible that this guy was lobotomized? camera tripod. A basin with a copper drain. A lamp is hanging from the ceiling, its bulb casts an intense white light. This looks like some kind of red tinted glass cover used to mask the lamp. It's completely shattered on the floor. The image of a couple wearing rat masks at a festival. Why? Pictures hanging from a cord. They look as if they were improperly developed. You can hardly distinguish anything. There's a big book of home chemistry recipes. A few pages have been bookmarked and some articles are underlined. Collodion for photography. Collodion is the vehicle by which the photographic chemicals are united upon the surface of the glass and the sensitive coating produced. Many formulae are published for this article, to which great value is attached. Hey man, thanks for hanging out. We will try and raid Affinity Chris when we're done here in a little bit. Thanks for chilling. Some supposing that to its particular composition belong the principal causes of failure or success. This is only in a degree true. To develop a positive image. This is done by pouring upon the plate about 1 ounce of the vitriol spirit solution, and only then adding 5 or 6 drops of the cyanide acid. Then the plate must be thoroughly washed in water to remove any excess of the chemicals. Causes of failure. They would almost require a chapter by themselves. A long experience convinces us that 9 out of every 10 failures occurs from a want of care, the presence of dirt, negligence. One cannot be overnice, careful, or cleanly. The best results always rewarding the most painstaking. If a mistake is made in the order specified in the formula, quickly flow clean water over the plaque and start again. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a thing. An instrument whose workings are beyond my knowledge. Glass jar containing a yellow substance. We'll take that. Cyanide. Basin with a copper drain. Okay. Okay. So that's when I have to develop photos, I guess. Large envelope of black felt covered in dust and ashes. It is labeled with a warning. Do not open it under white light. Okay. A bust with his face turned around. Picture of an angel with a gentle face. It's a letter. Dear Alexander, I have excellent news. A contact from the university has given me access to a 12th century alchemical tome containing an amazing formulary. There is no doubt that sometimes more contemplation takes the mind to places that otherwise it would have never visited. Leafing through the grimoire and marveling at the exquisite illumination of its pages, I have been struck by a sudden epiphany, a radical but elegant method that I have decided to try. Forgive me for not providing any information about the method itself. As soon as I get definite results, I will write to you immediately. I believe fortune has truly smiled upon us today. Videte ne quisquiat. This seems an invoice. May this document serve as a record of the payment made corresponding to the following work. The cuckoo clock mechanism has been modified to get the strokes exclusively at 6:15 in the afternoon. In addition, a special device and a switch have been added to synchronize all clocks in the house. Okay. The shelf is lined with strange and complex books. Some titles include The Movements of Shadows, Preserving the Mind, and Lessons Beyond Nature. It's a diary. It's the last thing written. The last pages have been ripped off. It's been a while since I can't devote any time to this diary for reasons beyond my control. An event most tragic has taken place in this house. Mr. Dupre has gotten ill, immersed in an everlasting stupor from which, it seems, he shall not return any time soon. Since the accident, I patiently take care of him. The doctor's treatments don't seem to do any good. I feed him like a child and make sure that all of the sculptures in the house are turned towards the wall. What else can I do? The clockmaker has just left. He has done such a good job. In the end, Mr. Dupre is not going to be able to notice the change in the clocks that he had so insistently requested. In his state, time will not be a problem anymore. This looks like the diary of a member of Alexander's household. What happened to them? He dead, brother. A pantry with spices and ingredients. Just some old bottles. Alright. Cellar door is locked. I need a key to open it. Or you can hook. Okay. Human head! The rope is broken. I'll keep this end. Okay. Alright, I don't know why I need that. Within the mud and dirt inside the bucket, there was a small bird of brass. Okay, that clearly goes on the cuckoo clock. Which is in his room. Cuckoo clock is covered with dust. Seems to be missing an important piece, the bird. Face of the clock has been turned. Okay. Weird. A little brass bird. When shaken, it makes a noise as if there was something inside. The bird fits perfectly. So it chimes at 6:15 in the morning. So I wonder... Okay. It looks miles away. Okay, so... Alright, Is it crashing again? Yes. Why, dude? Why you gotta be like this? Alright. No. Maybe? I need something on which to apply the liquid. I don't know, man. Hmm. I don't feel like I've missed anything. Cyanide is clearly to develop pictures. Cyanide in the tea? No. Okay. Let's go back to this clock. Hmm. Strangely enough, there doesn't seem to be any water in the well. The bare branches of the trees stretching to the sky break the night into 1,000 pieces. I can't dig with my bare hands. Nope. Old ruins lay by the path. They seem to be in Roman in style. Corpse of a deer, its abdomen torn open. Looks recently dead. Okay. I didn't read that. The ancient castle of Pevensey rests in the distance. It was a garrison first built by the Romans, but was abandoned and has been a ruin ever since. Alright, Bunch of freaking angel statues here. A jar of vitriol oil. I must be careful. It's a powerful acid. Statue of an angel covered in mold. It's glancing at me with a sad gesture. Its head is missing. Can I put the light bulb there? No. Okay. We already read this letter. Yeah, I wonder if Alexander has been lobotomized. Okay, apparently Alexander didn't own any actual dishes, only food. Just ate with his bare hands. Hmm. We'll look in here again. Okay. Alright, we read the diary. Need something on which to apply the liquid. Okay. I've removed the light bulb from the lamp. But why? A camera tripod. Nope. 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 Okay, hint time. I'm stuck. Okay. I would not have thought of this. Like, at all. So... Oh, when you left till the food fell through? Okay. Infinity Chris is not live yet. Yeah, so I just went and looked at this one thing. I would not have thought of it. But we're not supposed to read this letter under white light. Were you here when we found the dead deer? Because there's a dead deer. So take the light bulb and coat it in the blood. Now the bulb is grossly covered in blood. Then we'll go back to the room. Okay, so far I'm not really that creeped out. Okay. Put it back in. And then we can read the envelope. Inside the envelope, there's a glass sheet. Looks like a photographic plate. Alright, so put that in there. Vitriol. Then one. Alright, all that remains is to rinse the plate. An image is appearing on the plate. There's a photograph of Anthony and Alexander. Oh, God! The image is back in the frame. Yeah, String is clearly not paying attention because he's absolutely a photography nerd. Right, let's look at this now that we're not like... Oh. Okay, so now what do we do? Alexander, do you recognize this photograph? Take a look. It is you and our old friend Anthony. And there is someone else blurred in the background. Who is the third figure? Does he mean something to you? The bird awaits. Piece of clockwork. A hand. Alright, so the one downstairs is missing a hand. All the clocks are connected. Only need to set the clock to the correct time. Alright, let's go back check. Mobile isn't letting you chat? That sucks. Alright, it is currently... So it's not 11:15. It's 8 o'clock, right? Maybe it is 11:15. Face of the clock has been turned. So maybe it is 11:15. Even then, the red light only works with B and white prints. Black and white prints. Color prints will get messed up. Only 144 options. Brute force this motherfucker. That do anything? Whoa. So now this is set to 11:15. 2:30. All the clocks in the house, like the cuckoo clock activates at 6:15. And only 6:15, we know that. Ooh, not quite. Okay, so we want it one. Okay, so we want 1, 2, 3. Right? I didn't even have it on 2:30. What was I doing? We'll see what your 2:30 guess comes up with. Hmm. It's not 9 in the afternoon. Okay, I need to get this to say 6:15. That's what it is. So... Alright, I gotcha. There we go. The sound came from upstairs. It's gonna be horrible. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, man, he's freaking out. He's having some kind of seizure. He's trembling out of pure horror. Bird has burst out of the stroke. Now its beak is open. There's a key inside the bird. I don't know what to tell you, dude. You're out of laudanum. And, I'm not... Clearly the cyanide isn't gonna work. You've got a warm cup of tea downstairs. Ooh, boy. A dusty carpet of Asian origin. Mold and dust covered the portrait, making the subject indistinguishable. Piece of fine furniture, several drawers. Inside this one, there's a gardener's shovel. There are remains of Roman mosaic behind this wall. I can't distinguish anything clearly. Oh yes, don't blink. An ancient statue in poor conditions. Old ruins. It seems they were part of the Roman settlement. Not yet. Let's go dig up this grave. The cabinet has a large stain of mold due to the high humidity of this atmosphere. Alright. Let's do this shit. The lock is very rusted, almost shattered. The lock still resists. I can't open it by hand. A wooden box. It seems too small for a coffin. Alright. I guess we'll jet. Book written in a language unknown to me. There was a scrawled annotation written in English on one of the margins. This and no other is the function of the serum we manufactured at the boarding school when we were young. It is something that we didn't understand at the time, to accompany the mind to the proscenium of the big theater, and there help us to look behind the curtain that separates the world of men from the land of truth. To look, I say, if anything, to apprehend an image of what lives there. Just that. Will the hoopoe allow us to raise the curtain enough to walk off the stage and go beyond? A huge cage full of leftovers and dirt. Animals have been captive here. Jars and test tubes. Everything is soaked in chemical residues and the air is filled with the scent of vinegar. bunch of dust-covered beakers with repulsive liquids. A few of them have developed fungi inside. Labeled bottles and lab equipment. Innumerable jars full of murky objects suspended in formaldehyde. They will develop fun guys. Alexander was just lonely. I feel like there's gonna be something horrible out here when I go outside. There's nothing down here that I can use. I'm kind of out of ideas, guys. Oh, wait. We still have vitriol. The remains of a humanoid body with a grotesque animal aspect. Maybe a small ape? There's a collar with some engraved words on it. Old Mike. The skeletal fingers of the creature are clutching a rolled up canvas. It's a map of the stars. Beside the corpse there is a paper leaf. Dear Alexander, undoubtedly your methods are definitely stronger than mine. How do you manage to get results with such alacrity? On another note, my epiphany with the treatise of alchemy was not accidental. When examining the text closer, I have come to the conclusion that for a time, Raymundus Lullish thought the same thing as we did. In his account, he describes a formula that he calls hoopoe. Yes, like the legendary bird. It closely resembles the serum with which we have worked so far, except for minor differences. It's a pity what you tell me about old Mike. I hope he gets better soon. Videte nequisceat. Some kind of navigation map. Several constellations are marked. Okay. Oh god, that sounds like Alexander. Alexander. Oh my god. Some diary pages on the wheelchair. The paper was ripped apart as if someone had stripped it off the book hastily. I'm writing this in the light of my desk lamp, hoping to be able to remember it all when the birds finally sing, and the sun's blessing dispels the dark shadows of the mind. During the whole afternoon, a strong wind hit the valley, so strong that it's cracked a larger part of the old oak in the garden. I find it hard to get sleep during these nights, so I read a lot while accompanying the professor. I don't really know when exactly I fell asleep. I was awakened by the chill of the night, which was seeping through the open window. I looked outside and I saw him. The professor was miraculously awake. What was my joy to see him standing on the balcony, watching the valley with a true serene expression, enjoying the fresh and calm air right after the storm. I felt that a blessing had fallen upon this house, and for a moment I felt immensely happy. I stared at him for a while without saying anything, being afraid of dispelling a vision I hadn't believed possible for a long time. And then, in the midst of the silence, I heard a sound that froze me in my seat and snatched all my calmness, such a terrible chill that I will never forget. A loud noise beside me, low-pitched as the drag of a slab. Mr. Alexander's snore, who was pleasantly sleeping in his bed. I've already made a decision. I'll leave this house. A statue. It's holding something. It's a lens mounted in a metal ring. Starlight brings some brightness to the forest. Hmm. Probably need to go... Well, we haven't looked in here yet either. Okay. Probably time to go to this creepy ass place. I don't know, dude. I thought I could look at the... Hmm. Wow, I super don't want anything to do with that. Oh boy. I have to... Oof, okay. Okay. Okay, I gotta look at this real quick. Alright, so that one... And that one, and that one. Okay. Hmm. Not great at this. Okay. Alright, so... Vega, Deneb. Okay. It's close though, man. I just gotta, like, think about it a little harder. Okay. I found the Vega one. Okay. I know for sure that this is it. This is frustrating. Swoop, swoop, swoop. Okay. Swoop, swoop. It super is, though. Narrow window in the ceiling of the vault. Okay, I don't fucking know. Open envelope with a letter inside it. Dear Alexander, I'm terribly sorry about old Mike. Will you put him to rest in his favorite place? After weeks of unsuccessful attempts, I've managed to distill the alchemical formula based on the notes you sent me. Clearly, you're a master of this craft. The subject reacted to the serum as usual, rapidly entering into a state of waking sleep. Suddenly, the convulsions stopped, and since then, he has not been responding to any kind of stimulation. He has remained in the state for many days. My diagnosis is brain death, which should be our next step, Alexander. I'm worried this could be the end of our research. There's a mountain of compacted snow. There's a whole dark hole in the center of the room. It delves into the depths of the earth far beyond what I can see. We gotta figure out this puzzle. Okay, so this is the dude. That's definitely one. One of these three is the thing. Maybe that one. There we go. Correct. This is the Summa Triangle. Okay, but like, fucking now what? I don't fucking know, dude. This doesn't work to open the furniture. Oh wait, yeah. Crystal fits perfectly in the telescope. Alright, so... Creepy V. Wavy fence. Klingon bird of prey. Got it. Creepy V. Wavy fence. Wavy fence. Klingon bird of prey. There's a small cabinet with 2 slots for syringes. Only one of them remains. Your voice again. It comes from the bottom of the pit. I super don't want to go in there. Alexander. Alexander. A variety of surgical instruments and some jars with chemicals in them. There's a chair in the middle of the room. Here. This is what you asked me to search for, is it not, Alexander? Am I right? The last door. Xylothal. The last door. We can cross together. What should I do? I am waiting for you. Here, in the mist. It's nearby. I can hear it. What is nearby? What do you hear? I hear the beating of its wings. It knows we are afraid. I am ready. Sit down. Do you think we will find any clue here about Devitt's whereabouts? The police must have taken almost everything, but we have no other leads to pursue. Hopefully they have overlooked something. Excusey? What about this room? There's a sealed letter between this table and the wall. Looks like Herr Beechworth never sent it. I think it is best that you read it. Dearest Alexander, please, you must reflect on this. We do not yet know what we are dealing with. If you were to open the door, it may stay that way. An open way for whatever lives on the other side. Videte nequisciat. Alright. The adventure continues in Season 2. Extras. Here I have the police and medical report. The latter is so blank. According to the police, the deceased's name is Father Ernest Glynn. The man immolated himself. Alright. There must be something wrong with the water pressure valve. An anatomical model built of actual human bones. We will see if the police report is right. Good lord, what a mess. Oh, just look at it. The skin is all scorched. Cause of death is probably shock caused by the sudden burns. Horrible way of passing. What could lead a man of God to commit such an act? All that remains is to file the medical report so he can receive the proper treatment a fine gentleman deserves. Nothing else to do here. I should file the medical report. The case still puzzles me. If he wanted to commit suicide, why would he do it in such a painful manner? Was he drugged or intoxicated? I should check his stomach for signs of poisoning. And now we cut. Alright, his stomach looks fine on the outside. I should cut it open to check its contents. What is this? There's something strange in here. Looks like a piece of paper. There's a note. A crumpled note with 4 names, one of them crossed out. I think I should inform the inspector immediately. Interesting. Francis Baldwin. After being certified of your guilt by a peer jury, find you guilty of the wicked and violent murderers of 14 innocent and sick people. Because of this sentence, I am hereby authorized to execute you at this very moment by hanging to death in the sight of God. Okay, so they're trying him. Okay. Would you like to make a final statement before we proceed? Why will you say that I am mad? Okay then. She's the only survivor. What happened to the others? They are all dead. I would like to talk to her. Good afternoon. My name is Johann Kaufmann. I am a doctor. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Please be careful with what you ask. Miss Parnell's state is delicate. I am perfectly fine and able to talk, sister. Thanks for your consideration. Now, doctor, I understand you want me to repeat my story. I would be thankful to hear it indeed. I'll stay outside if you need me. I am a sane woman, doctor, in complete control of my mind and reason. You do not dare to question it. I certainly wouldn't. Then I will commence. I woke up in the dark. The room was small, so narrow that I could touch the wooden walls just by raising my elbows. Cause you recognize the place? I couldn't tell at first. For a moment a most dreadful thought crossed my mind. What if I had been buried alive? When I got out, I found myself in my parents' house. I hadn't been there since they sent me to school. Did you see anyone there? Your parents, or maybe someone you know? No, they were not in the house, nor was any servant. I was alone. I could feel the humid air on my skin and could smell the scent of the long time abandoned. I walked the rooms, unsettled by the silence. The place had the bleak feel of a ruin. And I saw someone, In the opposite end of the corridor, an old woman stared at me. An old woman? An old woman? Who was she? How should I know? I hadn't seen her before. I followed her out through the back alley and into the streets. I got lost in the burg of Aberdeen. The streets were deserted and a thick fog covered everything. I thought I had seen the old woman through the fog once or twice, and they could have been just shadows. So the city was empty? No, not completely. I met some people, vagabonds. One of them was a priest. I remember a novelist and a boy, too. Is this priest? Where did you meet him? I met him in a stable. Good Lord, he said mass there among the beasts. Could you imagine the profanity? Tell me more about this novelist. The woman had never written a word. She created only in her mind, you know. She could tell the story sentence by sentence with perfect precision, and I could even hear a piece of her last work. What was the piece about? Do you remember anything about the novelist's work? Yes. The piece she told me was something like, the shadows of the past soon melted within the land that loved silence. Through the fog they walked, found themselves lost. Hoping for a sign from their gods, they set camp on the beach, where 30 birds awaited to meet their crowned. So the boy, what's about him? I came across an abandoned carriage. The horse was long dead, its bones still harnessed to the cart. There was a young man petting the carcass of the animal. Is this you talk to the boy? Could you talk to this young man? He was deaf, but I think he could read my lips. When he did, he spoke with a clear accent. He said he could only listen to the songs of the departed. What happened then? As I walked, the fog got denser. I could barely see anything around. I finally met the old woman. She didn't say anything, but gave me a cardboard card. Then she left. She gave you a playing card. It was one of those used to tell fortune. There was a drawing on it of a veiled person holding a lamp. Then the mist seemed to clear out, and I could finally see. What could you see? A barren land bathed by roaring waves. There were thousands of birds. Then I realized there was something else. What was it? It was there. It looked at me. The burning dark inside. The shaking, the scream. That vision. That I cannot understand. What is it, Doctor? Have I finally lost my strength of mind? I believe your story. I am sure that what you lived was real. But I am afraid that I currently lack any proof that can confirm your account. I am sorry. I should leave. Thank you for your time. Wait, Doctor. I have something else to say. When I first woke up here, there was something beside me. Would this be proof enough? It looks like a tarot card. He does not look dead, but just asleep. I barely knew him, busy as he was traveling the world. What would be of man with no aspiration for the other side to inspire and lead him? I knew it would come to this. Your father was a terrible mess of a man. I'm only grateful that he brought you to our home soon enough, not long after you were born. I hold no doubt that you will learn from this bad example and grow up to be a righteous gentleman. What could there be greater than the efforts of mortals to rise from their miserable condition? We will speak later, young man. We are busy. This is so sad. He was most dearest to me. You know, your father was a complicated man. He had a strong character and was stubborn as a mule, but he had taken a determination. He believed he had a mission in this world, though I'm not sure he knew exactly what it was. That which avoids description, the unknown, provides men with reason to exist. Why did he do this? There is an obscure domain, its secrets taken by man from the silence of nature and death. You are the young Beechworth, is that right? Your father left you everything, Anthony. The house, his accounts, and all his belongings for you to receive when you come of age. He was very specific in his testament, though, that you should receive this promptly. His personal book log. These are the memoirs of my life, my research, and knowledge of the other side. Use them wisely, son. All right. And that's all we got, dude. That's the last door. That's the first season. I'm super interested at some point in doing the second season of this. This was super cool, even though it scared the pants off of me. Anyhow, it is time to wrap up our party here. Our Sunday night stream party. We are not streaming again until Thursday. And I believe... Yeah, so Thursday we are doing an early TGI Fantasy, because Friday, hopefully, we will be starting Ni no Kuni 2, as long as my package arrives on time. But that is the plan. Let me... Yeah, so that's what we got. That's what we got. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Do your best on Monday. Don't kill yourself trying to get it done. I will catch you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Didn't wanna believe it when I realized that I was on my own.